Bebe's kids, what's that? Well, it's an SNES game that I'm going to be talking about today, which is based on an animated film that's based on a stand-up comedy, and this in turn is based on some children the comedian saw. Now, I haven't met those kids, so I can't say if it's accurate to the comedic act, nor have I seen the stand-up, so I couldn't tell you if it's correctly depicted in the movie. You might have guessed by now, I haven't seen the feature film this game is based on, but, like most games based on other media, the accuracy to the source material, or lack thereof, isn't the first thing you notice. It's the atrociousness of every other aspect. If you don't believe me, well, when have I ever steered you wrong? Before I get into the video proper, I have to formally apologise for this thumbnail. Even though I use an image of the game's box art as part of the thumbnail, I was considering against it because of how bad this particular one is. I thought there were no good images of the cover uploaded to the internet yet. Looking at people selling this on eBay, I was proven wrong because the same washed out colour palette is on full display and makes me think they did this to deter people from wanting to play it. Certainly might have made some people not click on this video, so for those still watching, please don't wipe the blood from your eyes. You've got an even shittier game to look at for a few minutes. So, you gonna say something? Yeah, I got that from the title. Come on, you don't have to draw attention to your own ridiculousness. You pick from two kids to play as, and this starting choice doesn't matter because both of them play the exact same. They walk with the exaggerated swagger of a black preteen, and I think this is the only game I've seen where the walking animation looks more painful than when the character is actually hit. Initially, this game seems like an unbalanced mess. Your regular attacks are realistic to how a kid would be attacking an adult, barely putting a dent in with each punch and kick. That is until I looked up an online guide and found out that holding down both left and right bumpers as well as Y performs a special move that kills most non-boss enemies in 3 hits. Like talking your girlfriend out of having an abortion when having a coat hanger readily available, why try the hard way when the easy way is just as accessible? This broken move even makes the weapons you pick up moot, cause while they kill enemies in 3 hits too, they have a limited amount of uses. So after finding out this info, this game is still an unbalanced mess, but now just on the easy side. The next area sees you in a room full of glass vases with a baby knocking them over and a man trying to catch them, which is a weird attraction in a theme park. Naturally, your first instinct is to catch the things being knocked over, but since this is a beat 'em up, you need to apply violence to the vases before the man can catch them. If you didn't win, and inevitably make that poor guy fork over a hefty sum of money to pay for damages, you'll go back to the start of the game, and with confusing gameplay sections like this, it's gonna happen. The next confusing section is the haunted house, since it's the only stage that doesn't conform to the move from left to right to progress as established previously, and really highlights how annoying the time limit is for each stage. If you figure out that the thermometer at the top of the screen turns red the closer you are to the finish, then you'll be halfway there because this is still a confusing maze of a level. Makes me wonder, why is the thermometer getting hotter? Is someone trying to burn down the exit? As you've probably noticed by now, the main street of the theme park keeps getting used as a transitional level between each of the theme stages, and if you think that's repetitive, you haven't heard the 2-second loop of music heard throughout. After going through a pirate-themed level, you start descending through what seems to be the sewers of the theme park, and this section has a heavy reliance on platforming, and I hesitate to call it even that. Seeing as you need to jump in and out of pits to progress, this reminds me of E.T. the Extraterrestrial, and I don't want a developer called Radical Entertainment to remind me of such an unimpressive game. Although, this company went on to make The Simpsons Hit and Run and the Prototype series, so at least Bebe's Kids wasn't the cesspool pit of quality that future games wallowed in. The final boss is a giant robot, which I'm sure you see all the time at your local theme parks, and this fight is on the harder side because of its small hitbox and large attack radius. It's best to pick up the food lying around, which like most video games replenishes health, and to use the special attack combo you do in mid-air. While the enemies have been saying some weird things during the playthrough, the final boss keeps saying this throughout the fight. Now I recognise the too strong from the beginning of Public Enemy's Bring the Noise, and I found out it's from a Malcolm X speech about black revolution. Considering all enemies are white people attacking these harmless black kids, maybe there's a deeper meaning to why this line is here. The disjointed cutscenes that throw in random lines before dropping you into a new area, plus this revelation, kinda makes me want to watch the movie to cast away any confusion. Nah, let's just move on to the conclusion so I don't need to think about Bebe's kids ever again. Don't worry about me not telling you the end of a repetitive, uninspired SNES title because it's not worth your time like a single second of the annoying soundtrack. Most of the game becomes a breeze when you find out about the special move and can actually hit an enemy without them moving. Too bad I had to look that information up, as well as how to progress through most sections that weren't moving forward from beating up enemies, since most of their solutions were baffling. I've taken that into consideration, which is why Bebe's Kids places here in the list of games so far. I think I found a surefire way of increasing my engagement on videos, so go ahead and give this a like if this game looks great. Alright. Bebe! Nah, I can't do that, was stupid. No. Baby's Kids. Come on, man, you sound like a stutterer, get it out. Man, if it's gonna be that hard to start the video, you might as well end it here.